Jackson to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every soldier's heart. It's time we stand and say, I'm proud to be an American, wearing peace and gold, I'm free.
One night, our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Presented before you today is a squad ready for a combat patrol. It is comprised of a squad leader, 2 team leaders, and their teams. Each team has an automatic rifleman, grenadier, and a rifleman.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen and distinguished guests. Welcome to Fort Jackson, the Army's premier training center, and what we like to say, victory starts here. Today is Family Day, and for many, serving in the military is a family tradition. Would all the soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines in the crowd, past or present, please rise so we may recognize you for your service to our country. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the great Americans that have made our armed forces the greatest military in the world. We definitely appreciate all they have done. Today is about family. Today is about the great Army tradition of a soldier reuniting with his family after time apart. I cannot begin to explain to you the significance of your presence here today for these soldiers. It's important because during the careers of our soldiers, they will need your support during training, deployments, and other events that keep them far from home. Your presence today makes a difference. It shows that you support their choice to serve their country. Today is also a day of reunion, and of course, stories. And trust me, there'll be some great stories. You just wouldn't believe all of them. Last night I overheard a soldier tell his parents that our battalion run was over 7 miles at a 5-minute mile pace, all uphill, in the snow. I assure you it was not in the snow. I would now like to cover some of the ground rules for today. Please ensure you get your soldiers back here safely tonight. Graduation will be right here tomorrow morning.
right in the middle. Look in my screen. Isn't that him right there?
Yep. He's in the middle, third from the back. Yeah, this is Caleb. Third from the back.
Do you see Sarah? Sarah, do you see Caleb?
He's in the middle, third from the back.
daughters. That tradition continues today with your loved one's completion of 10 weeks of training. From 1917 to today, transforming citizens into soldiers.
And they better not sit somewhere else.
Come this way, Dad.
Over the past 10 weeks, your soldiers have overcome obstacles, faced fear and adversity, and soared to new heights. Their journey was arduous, but today they can say that they have completed basic combat training and have become members of the greatest army the world has ever known.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's heart would be waiting for me, and the crowds would cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, "This is what I'm meant to be." I'll be there someday. I can go the distance, I will find my way. If I can be strong, I know every mile would be worth my while. When I go the distance, I'll be right where I belong. To embrace my fate, though that road may wander away to you, and 1,000 years would be worth the wait, and it may take a lifetime, somehow I'll see it through. When I go the distance and my journey is complete.
sword will be.
The reviewing officer for today's graduation is the commander of the 3rd Battalion, 34th Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Robert S. Perry. On his left is Command Sergeant Major David R. Boone, the senior non-commissioned officer, master trainer, and principal advisor to the commander. The commander of troops will now bring forward the colors and persons to be honored. Competence and commitment are the hallmarks of professionalism. The soldiers and drill sergeants coming forward will be recognized for their excellence in training and duty performance and serve as examples to all. It is appropriate for soldiers in uniform and all armed forces veterans to salute the American flag. We ask our civilian guests to please remove your headgear and place your right hand over your heart as our national anthem is played. Lieutenant Colonel Perry and Command Sergeant Major Boone will now present the awards. The outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle for Company D is Drill Sergeant Erwin DeLinden from San Diego, California. The honor graduate of the cycle for Company D is Private Isaac Schroll from Muncie, Indiana. The highest score in rifle marksmanship for Company D, hitting 38 out of a possible 40 targets, is Private Drew Rollins from Arlington, Washington. The highest scorer on the end of cycle physical fitness test for Company D, scoring 344 points on the extended scale, the highest in the battalion, is Private Justice Williams from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle for Company A is Drill Sergeant Douglas Anderson from Cincinnati, Ohio. The distinguished honor graduate of the battalion and honor graduate of the cycle for Company A is PFC Riley Shiriishi from Maui, Hawaii. The highest scorer in rifle marksmanship for Company A, hitting 40 out of a possible 40 targets, a Hawkeye, is PFC Russell Costa from Reedley, California. The highest scorer on the end of cycle physical fitness test for Company A, scoring 335 points on the extended scale, is Private Janice Chapman from Lone Oak, Arkansas. The outstanding drill sergeant of...
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 334 Infantry graduation ceremony. Hope that everyone had a great family day. If you were not able to join us yesterday, I would like to welcome you to Fort Jackson, the Army's premier training center, and where we like to say, victory starts here. I'd like to recognize our Deputy Commanding Officer, Colonel Shea, and Command Sergeant Major Christian, our Post Command Sergeant Major, and welcome all other distinguished guests who are in attendance for today. I would be remiss if I did not mention the 282nd Army Band, who always puts on a great performance, and in my opinion is one of the finest military bands in the country. The soldiers standing in front of you represent approximately 30 million military-age residents of the United States. Those are the 18 to 27-year-olds that represent our recruiting pool. However, not everyone can serve, and in fact, less than 1 in 4 is physically, mentally, and morally eligible to serve in our armed forces. Ladies and gentlemen, standing in front of you is that top 1%. They represent our nation's best. They come from big cities like New York, Chicago, and Boston. They come from small rural towns like Enterprise, Alabama, South Jordan, Utah, and Kickapoo, Kansas. They come from other countries like Brazil, Ghana, and South Korea. Many have advanced degrees or left jobs where they served as police officers, businessmen, or were students in college. Some have come from families that have sacrificed everything for their country, such as Private Valdivia from Alpha Company, whose father, Specialist Jose Mora, gave his last full measure of devotion to his country on 24 October 2003 in Samarra, Iraq. Many of the Mora Valdivia family are in attendance for today's ceremony. I'd like them to stand so we can recognize them. We may not truly understand your sacrifice, but we do know what your sacrifice means to us to this nation and to a world that still depends on so much of American men and women in uniform for their security. Families such as the Mora Valdivia family are what makes America truly great. It's also indicative of the type of volunteers that walk through the gates of Fort Jackson every week, ready to serve. These soldiers in front of you are our future. They have committed themselves to supporting and defending the Constitution of the United States of America. They represent the profession of arms, and that is what they are, professionals, trained, educated, and committed to upholding the code of conduct and American values. All of them raised their hands and volunteered, many for different reasons, some for better opportunities, some for love of country, or perhaps family tradition. It does not matter why they initially joined. What matters is they did when their country asked them to, particularly in such a time of increasing instability and turmoil. These soldiers have sworn an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. They've willingly agreed to put their needs of others before themselves. The 16th century writer and preacher John Bunyan wrote, "You have not lived today until you have done something for someone who can never repay you." This is the life of an American soldier, to take care of and to protect of those that cannot take care of themselves. In a moment, you will hear them recite the Soldier's Creed. If you listen closely, you will hear them say, "I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life." This is their pledge, their oath to you as a U.S. citizen. They will never quit, they will never falter, and they'll never give up on you. To the soldiers of 334, I want to congratulate you on your accomplishment. You've entered into a new and exciting chapter of your life. The Army you have joined is the most powerful force for good on earth. Strive to make it better. Let me leave with a final thought as you start your new journey. Soldier's life is never easy. You'll never be rich or famous. You will undoubtedly serve in remote and isolated places around the world. Many of our citizens will never understand the personal sacrifices you and your families will be required to make to preserve the American way of life. But in the end, when we're all called before our Maker to make our final toe of the line, you can look back with pride and say, "I helped bring light to the dark, order to chaos, and ensured liberty never perished from the earth. I was an American soldier." Good luck. Keep pushing yourself every day. Rock Force.
There's Caleb.
Yeah, right in the middle there. See the guy?
I don't think that's tall enough. He's tall enough.
Looks like it. Kind of walks like it.
I think that's him in the second row. On the far side. I don't know. We'll see when he comes.
It's him in the front.
In the middle?
In the front, in the middle, yeah.
He looks short.
Company D is commanded by Captain Stuart M. Glenister from Temple, Texas. First platoon is led by Sergeant Lawrence Mayfield from Savannah, Georgia. Second platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Miranda Singh from Thailand.
Alright, they're rounding the corner now.
Third platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Alex Roach from
Second one from the right.